Are you struggling with addiction? Most guys are hooked on bad habits, whether it's playing video games, watching porn, or using drugs. The worst part, they never admit they're addicted. Instead, they justify their habits with excuses like, "Fapping is healthy, bro. You should try it or you'll get testicular cancer." Or, "Video games are good for you. They improve concentration and teamwork." Pathetic. The best don't lie to themselves. They are brutally honest and admit their weaknesses because you can only overcome addiction if you keep things real. Maybe you've already tried breaking your addictions, listened to advice, but nothing worked, and you keep relapsing. Overcoming your addictions is a beautiful thing, but most advice out there is pure garbage. It sounds good on paper, but doesn't actually work. This video will be the only one you'll ever need on this topic. We will go over 5 powerful ways to quit any addiction. Cultivate hatred. Most people have a limited understanding of breaking addictions. They'll tell you to set a quit date or distract yourself. Sure, this might work temporarily, but eventually, temptations catch you off guard and you relapse. The first step to breaking addiction isn't to avoid it. No, the first step is to cultivate deep hatred towards that activity. Start by using hate. People who tell you to use robotic and strict routines to overcome addictions don't truly understand addictions. They treat them like any other habits. Addictions are strong, emotionally driven habits. Loneliness, boredom, greed, sadness, all these unresolved pain points lead to your addictions. We don't choose to be addicted. We choose to deny our pain. No one else will tell you this, but the best way to counter your addictions is by cultivating the most powerful emotion against it: hate. Society has a novice understanding of emotions and considers emotions like hatred and anger as negative. This couldn't be further from the truth. There is a time and a place for every emotion, even hatred. To cultivate hatred, think of as many bad consequences of your addiction and write them down. For example, if you're addicted to fapping, write down how it keeps you away from your potential because it absorbs your time and energy and makes you feel shameful. Write down how it destroys your dopamine receptors, makes you depressed, and lowers your testosterone. By linking all horrible things to your addiction, you turn that addiction into your enemy. Reading them daily will program your subconscious brain to resent those activities. This way, even when you're caught off guard by temptations, your subconscious brain is trained to fight against them. Find your purpose. When a man lacks purpose, he distracts himself with pleasures. Naturally, he starts to do dumb things. However, a man driven by a strong purpose can't waste time and energy on futile activities. Can you imagine a man like Elon Musk becoming an alcoholic or a UFC fighter on the way to the title, fapping 9 times per day? Of course not. Their purpose doesn't allow for it. A man's desire to fulfill his purpose is 100 times stronger than his desire for meaningless distractions. Once again, no one else will tell you this. They try to give you cheap tricks to avoid your addictions, but it doesn't fix you at the core of your being. Finding your purpose can take time, but it's one of the most effective and powerful ways to break addictions. Do nothing. We've been programmed to grab pleasure the moment we feel bored or to constantly work, even if it's meaningless tasks. When was the last time you did nothing? When I say doing nothing, I'm not talking about lying in your bed. I'm talking about purposefully doing nothing. Just sit. Most people develop their addictions because they can't deal with boredom. When you reprogram yourself to be okay with doing nothing, you're less likely to give in to addictions. Doing nothing can also help you discover your purpose in life. It decreases anxiety, brings creativity to the surface, and boosts productivity. Fight dirty. If it's a fight between temptation and willpower, the odds are always on the side of temptation. A single moment of weakness is enough for temptation to strike you down. The key is to sabotage temptation before the fight even begins. Stop seeing your smoking friends. Leave the junk food out of the house. Don't take your mobile to bed. Disconnect your internet if you have to. Whatever your addiction is, distance yourself from it as much as possible. You have to sacrifice to be able to change. Don't battle temptation with willpower. That's a last resort. Instead, defeat temptations by being witty and smart. Make it an uneven fight. Don't give your enemy an opening to pick up its sword. That's how you obliterate your temptations. Change your environment and make it as difficult as possible for your addictions to lure you in. Move. The power of regular exercise in dealing with addictions is often underestimated. A sedentary lifestyle is the mother of addictions, while movement is a killer of addiction. It helps you manage your mental health, so move. You can't smoke weed while you're sprinting. You can't fap while you're doing burpees. You can't gamble while you're swimming. It's very hard to be pathetic while you're moving intensely. Here's the beautiful thing about exercise. A good session releases natural chemicals in the brain called endorphins. When you get these endorphins naturally, you are less likely to crave them in a cheap and artificial way afterward because you already got your feel-good high from exercising. If you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.